Got it. And done. Okay, got that also. All righty, y'all. Peace and greetings to y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey. Here in Morocco at Northwestern Maxim. How are you? Guys, let me welcome you to our AstroCivics Sunday, number 43, Holy Koran Devotional Countdown. We're at chapter 31 now, guys. Justice. That's very Libran, right? Libra, right? Justice. However, and I'd like to again just let you guys know we're doing very well. Look at where we are now, right? So after this, we have a whole month of Sundays to go after this, right? See how that just so apropos that it fits there, right? A month of Sunday. You know, people are like, man, I ain't see you in a month of Sundays. But we actually have a month of Sundays worth of chapters to finish. After today, right? We have a month of Sundays to go, actually. But guys, before we get started, I'd like to not only introduce myself as I've done, but my magnificent and beloved brother in whom we are well pleased, and he is
Islam, peace and love to ye all. Pazia Moor. I am Brother Shanalim El. Soy Hermano. Soy Hermano Shanalim El. You already know that all is well. And man, I know we just did that quick thinking Moon and Mercury, but my focus, my memory has kind of lapsed from me, right? Bro, what was that appellation?
I got you. Always fun, right? That's just a thing that I think that people always expect. At the beginning, I think we probably only not done that maybe twice. You know what I mean? It's just like, we just jumping right into this, which is kind of what we're going to do now. We're going to jump straight into this, guys. Just want to say to those that participated, to the new members that are TUPAC members, right? The Universally Professional Astrology Community members. Thank you all so much for showing out. I mean, the recordings, I gotta admit, I know I promised 4 hours each, but I think we did like 51 minutes and 9 seconds over on Saturday, and then we did like an hour and maybe 3 minutes over today. So that just basically knows that it's definitely 8 hours, but it's definitely another hour and 50 something, 53 minutes of video, because we were able to get some questions asked and answered. And I look forward to the astrology discussions that we're going to have. I think the discussions that we're going to have, we're going to do our best to keep them under 2 hours. We'll probably just pick whatever days are best for astrology discussions and let people know when they can come to the astrology discussion, if they can make it. It's going to be free for members. If you're a non-member, I'm thinking we might do like 18 notes for non-members, right? It's going to be 18 for non-members, right? We like to stay on that 369 energy. So 3 times 6 is 18, and 1 plus 8 is 9. So that's where we're going to be for that one. And we trust that y'all can actually make that if you haven't committed yet, because for right now, to be a lifetime member pertaining to TUPAC, it is 250 units for now, right? Because I know astrology associations we're a part of, they want, like, now that it went up, I think it's like a rack, like they want 1,000 for the year now. Jesus, firstly Christ. That's just what it is for certain astrological societies, but that particular one is international, and it's probably on some. Let me tell you how a lot of times things are so-called quote unquote priced, and you can actually watch that James Brown movie called Get On Up. And there's a portion where, I think James Brown is talking to like one of the record execs. And he was like, nah, man, I got a live band. I want to do X, Y, and Z with my music. And he was like, the Blacks don't have the resources to buy music like that. So we're going to focus on, these other beings that are going to buy music. And I got to admit, and you guys got gotta finally, admit even more to yourselves. There's been a social engineering of unconscious Moors, misclassified as Negro, Black, colored, African American, where when it comes to actually putting the finances in the proper places for your collective benefit, you guys fall short of that. You really do. And then when beings like us are part of these different, societies, so to speak, or different, we're members of different, associations, right? And our tassels are free flowing. They're not pent down. So we didn't, swear any oaths of death. We're not holding any secrets, and we go around these other beings that clearly respect us. It's like, Pasha, how are you, Pasha? It's so good to see you, Pasha. That's how we get treated when we go to these other arenas. And it's beautiful in the sense of like, wow, man, this really caters to my mindset and how I think, and this is where it's happening on a large scale. It's sad when we, bring that to our community, Moors and unconscious Moors, and it's like, at the end of the day, the Albion is so supportive.
Man.
Like on a larger scale, I'm not knocking, the Moors that are members of TUPAC. Like, shout out to you guys,
shout out to y'all.
You know what I mean? So yeah, seriously. So, however, also within TUPAC, because I said, I'm accepting everyone from, the novice to the intermediate to the expert in astrology or the adept in astrology. And we're accepting, we don't care what your skin, is, whatever spacesuit you're in, if it's, a copper tone spacesuit, if it's a pale skin spacesuit, and if it's in between, whatever, we don't care. Because what we're perpetuating is and having moved to the forefront. We're not, let's have something where we, come together and then, here comes COINTELPRO operations to, infiltrate it. It's like, it's not even designed like that. You know what I mean? It's designed that even if that tried to take place, it would crumble and it would show itself. It would be exposed so quickly because of, this starts with me. I'm not being, arrogant or self-centered. I mean, this starts with me and the way I think and the way I see things. 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna call it out. Hey man, what you mean by this? Right in the middle of stuff in front of everybody. I don't care how embarrassed you feel or get. And then I'm not gonna forget it. But that really, at the end of the day, the point that I'm making is the reason why we're doing what we're doing when it comes to TUPAC is to have an astrological community where, it's headed by those that keep Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the forefront pertaining to their mind, which is actually the best astrological community to be a part of, actually. The other ones, yeah, cool, great. They know astro magic. Ooh, and they know how to do this with astrology. Yay! That's our stuff. That's ours. I don't care how many texts of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, our Albion sons and daughters did their best to try to translate to bring you guys the type of astrology. Like, they're custodians. You're supposed to be doing the custodian stuff. So when we are ready to, take our stuff back, it's like, oh, okay, cool. That's how this is supposed to be working, period. It's not like, don't feel inferior about it, but this is what happens. People feel small or inferior or have a complex a certain way when Moors are taking back their culture, taking charge pertaining to their ancient foremothers and forefathers mindset. These are the beings that they're greedy, that want to, nah, they can't have it, or let's try to do something dastardly to make them, it's definitely not going to work. Not in these days and times. That is over with. So since that's over with, 2 things need to happen. The Albion sons and daughters need to, hey, get out, move, get out of my bed. You know what I'm saying? Clean those sheets. Matter of fact, go get me a fresh mattress. You know what I'm saying? Need a whole new bedroom set. We need a whole new 12th house going on here. So, you know what I'm saying? Like you were just vicars, substitutes, stand-ins that were given the minister plenipotentiary energy for a temporary time. You knew it's going to be temporary. Get over it. Stop being upset because someone like myself presents how I present, not being arrogant, not being full of myself. This is truth, and truth doesn't need to be, put in a note and softly blown across from my hand across your pillow and just gently graze your cheek. Message. Like, no, it needs to be, hey, you. Okay, good. I'm glad you got that done. Clean this shit up. Like, that's how it's gonna be. So with that being said, second thing, I trust, Moors that are conscious and unconscious really just, get to supporting 7 Hill Star and TUPAC. Period. You know what I'm saying? Because what I did was, by being around these different astrological societies, these international astrologers, man, these people don't care about y'all. They do not care. They do not care about you guys. I'm trying to tell you, there are some, but collectively speaking, man, these people could gentrify your hood and kill you and bury you quickly. They would, because then they could have their utopia of their astro community, right? But there's quite a few Albion sons and daughters that aren't with that. But there's a lot of Albion sons and daughters that, they still look at you like the black people. Boy, until you let it be known, like, hold on, time out. First of all, how can I be black? You see what I'm saying? My fez is black, However, the pale skin, that Albion is, since he has pale skin, that's black skin, because pale and black is the same thing. Period. Pale and black is the same thing. So there's got to be a release of the social engineering in your mind. Stop calling yourselves pale skins, you unconscious Moors, because you're calling yourself black people. You're saying you're pale people, right?
Y'all need to be checked into a mental health facility.
Monkeys. I mean, that's what it is, because it is a mental health issue, just like the homosexuals. It's a mental health issue. You know what I mean? Because both to think you're black and to think that you're homosexual is, you're contending with nature. You're like saying, I hate nature, like you're warring against nature. For the Albion, who is the black man and black woman, that pale skin is the black man and black woman. For them to call themselves white, they're warring against nature. Most people, I don't care who they are, most people don't want to have this conversation with me because I already know I'm going to tell the truth. I never speak from my beliefs, ever. I never, ever speak from my beliefs, because I'm not a fool. I'm not a baby. I don't have beliefs. I don't believe anything. Either I know it or I don't. Either it's the truth or it's falsehood. That's it. It's very Scorpio moon of me. So either you're gonna like me or you're not. Guess what? I don't care, because the truth's gonna be the truth regardless. The truth's gonna be the truth. I don't care. So with that being said, I trust you all. Support 7 Hill Star, because that's what's best to do. Don't sit here and be like, I don't like them because the way they talk. I think I think that they think that no, it's you, the first part of that statement. You're doing the thinking, right? Instead of thinking that, we think we're something, or you're looking at us and you're like, man, they, since they some handsome brothers, hey, how about this? How about you leave your sexual mental disabilities and judging what we look like over there and just get with getting yourself correct, right? You know what I mean? And just support us. You know what I mean? Make sure you're not just somebody who's trying to stay loyal to someone that you think, oh, they're going to oust me online, or they're going to try to say something to me online. That you don't have to be loyal to trolls, whether they're near Toronto or wherever else. You don't have to be loyal to trolls. Support Seven Hill Star. You don't have to be jealous and have a Me Too identity either. Well, if they're doing it, we can do it too. You should have just linked up with Seven Hill Star and the universally professional astrology community. All you're doing is showing us how much you hate yourself. That's it. That's all I see. You're not going to be able to convince me of anything else. You don't link up with Seven Hill Star. You just hate yourself. That's how I see it. You can make any other excuse. I'm just going to know that you hate yourself. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Because what do we do? What do we sell packages? What do we rob people? Is that what we do? We do things to make you what? No, that's not what's happening. So what's happening is people are still learning to love instead of hate. They'll say things, but at the end of the day, you need to take that tool called Federal Reserve notes or your so-called bank card or your Zelle or your PayPal or your CashApp and swing that energy, that tool, that's that energy on over to Seven Hill Star and the universally professional astrology community. Because we see people out there, like we have a colleague who has over 500 something videos on their YouTube, and they've been on YouTube since 2006. And we calculated that's 31 videos a year average. We're giving you 31 videos in 2 1/8 months. So that's like 2 months and like 3.5 days. You get 31 videos on average from us. If you calculate how we're doing stuff. You see what I'm saying? So this is not to hate on anyone. This is the truth. And I think, you guys need to get, start getting used to hearing the truth, told to you. You know what I'm saying? You guys need to really get used to hearing the truth. You know what I mean? Really, really get used to it because it's freeing. You don't have to be uncomfortable. All right, Brother Sean, you have anything to add there, bro? For us to, I know I had a little monologue based off what we were discussing a little earlier. You have anything you want to add, bro?
Yeah, just gonna come to the people to not hate themselves, and I think a lot probably don't even realize they hate themselves. So when we, come and express that truth, it's gonna stir something up inside of them. And first they're gonna get pissed off. That's gonna be the first reaction to safeguard themselves from being comfortable to loving to loving the way that they've been lied to. Right? Because people love to be lied to. They want to stay a certain way to be cool and popular and all these other things. Even when it's detrimental to themselves and others. They might think it's being good or being helpful, but really it's really being detrimental, right? It's being very Mercurian and Sagittarius is being in Pisces. Well, I don't say Pisces is a good spot, but it's being detrimental. And what we do and have been doing and continue to do is bring the truth to what y'all need. And we're really for those who are open to truth, not those who just want to live in a fantasy land, right? Like that being like that Teddy Riley song, it's just a fantasy, being those energy that y'all really have to want better for yourselves. Y'all have to want the truth for yourselves and your loved ones. And really, the most part is for the babies, right? Because there's a lot of things, discussions going on about babies and this and that. But I mean, it really doesn't take much to look at things that have happened and what we call the past, and those things still being done today and nothing's changing. Calling yourself slavery terms or marching, and everything else, doing these things that don't work. And it's insane. So USC won. Insane person to keep doing the same thing, to think something's going to change, and to think that somebody's going to come to save you, and to think that, these beings that are in these positions are going to save y'all as well. They laugh at y'all in their chambers. They laugh at y'all in their homes, their groups, their discussions, because they know that y'all are still asleep, that y'all are still under the hypnosis, that y'all are still falling for the okie doke. So, yeah, we do this and we say this, and we will continue to say it, and it's really up to y'all. It's not up to Seven Hill Star. It's really up to y'all to really decide in your hearts to, as they would say, put your money where your mouth is, as some would say, and, really invest. Because when y'all really look at our culture, I'll say that beings that most likely have invested their energy and time into things that are not yielding results or benefits. I mean, because if we have, then we should have everything we need. We should have schools, we should have books, we should have trades, different businesses, all these different things that our people look at everyone else do, but we don't have it for ourselves. But we take our energy and finance and put into everything else that's not benefiting us. You take, for instance, the corner stores, how they talk about, those, they don't care about y'all, but they care about that energy y'all bringing in. Think about all the corner stores, the liquor stores, and all these things. Think about all the drugs, education, all these other things that are really not bringing what we truly need. And I think folks are really fearful because they want to admit they're wrong. I think that's one of the hardest things for folks is to admit they're wrong. What they say in the drug recovery programs, admitting is the first step. They don't want to take that first step. So y'all better quit singing Bobby Brown every little step, because y'all ain't taking no steps. Y'all just thinking y'all taking steps in your mind. You envision that y'all are taking steps in your mind. And we're not being mean, we're not beating y'all down, but we have to speak this truth sternly. And, for the most part, people really don't respect nothing until you rile them up. So you have to get them all pumped and charged up and ready to fight you, kill you, shoot you, in order for them to really start seeing and thinking. And why does it have to be like that? Why?
Hold on.
That Kids song, why?
That's gonna make me play this, bro. So you see him and let me play it. It's funny what you just said. I'm just gonna play it, bro. I'm just gonna play it. I'm gonna go to my Instagram, bro, and I'm just gonna play it. All right. And so let's do it.
I'm trying to think.
I did a song about cognitive dissonance, and I did a song about cognitive dissonance, and I didn't use that vocabulary. I just called it "people don't want that real." You know what I mean? I said people don't want that real. They just say that they do. That's now right. People don't want that real, and I'm one of them too. Yeah. I'm so easily entertained by ratchet activity. Violent, negative imagery always seem to interest me. I tell myself, no music glorifying evil, selling drugs, womanizing, killing our people. Then I hear a song with a tight beat and can't deny it. The hook is catchy, so I subconsciously memorize it. Next thing you know, I'm reciting all the lyrics, and my day don't feel complete unless I hear it. Inviting darkness in my spirit, this can't be light. I'm craving what I'm supposed to be fighting, this can't be right. I must be blind to the effects, this can't be sight. Death is in the power of the tongue, and this can't be life. Be careful what you get involved with, cause you can't support a cause, but then hate the effects that it causes.
So,
I did a song about
folks are probably over there sitting there like, whoa, hold on, yo, like, whoa. But, Brother Hasan, I think we should get an Albion to come on and say all the things that we're saying and watch how many folks get it. I mean, they would get it quick. They'd be like, oh, well, since the Albion say the clearly it must be true because, what our people, if we don't have a certain type of bag or material things or look a certain way or talk a certain way, they really don't respect it. But even then, like, when 7 Hill Star does have all those things, will y'all still respect it to get it? Most likely not, because it's not us that y'all are mad at. It's not us that y'all hate. It's yourselves. That's why it's important to know thyself. And that video is so beautiful because think about it. Think about all the music. Think about all these discussions talk about men hating women, women hating men, you know, glorifying drugs and, you know, shooting, killing other people. And when we get into justice, I was reading it this morning and I'm like, wow, like, because that's what the culture is, to appear a certain way to look cool. And if you don't do it, that you're not cool and folks won't accept you. And like we said before, who gives a fuck if people accept you? Because they don't accept themselves, you know, because we're about community building. We're about nation building, and the things that have destroyed our communities, we're not for. But it's the training. So folks have to retrain and relearn a lot of things that they've been used to. And this is generational thing that has been going on for a while. And like I said, that's why, you know, the next workshop that me and Brother Hasan are about to do is really highly important that y'all attend and really not only get the education, but get the healing part of it. You know, really get the Gemini, really get the dual nature of it, because it's highly and vitally important. Don't look at having to transact whatever, you know, that we set, because it's not even about finance, because what we're bringing is priceless, that y'all will be able to take and heal yourselves and heal your loved ones and heal your children, and really get out into the community and really start standing up against all these things that are robbing you all. You know, that's Moors, everybody is getting robbed. When it, you know, you got people fighting for their homes, dealing with these court cases, you know, that they shouldn't be in, and all these other things, but they don't see that they're getting robbed of that energy. You know, nobody should be having to go get 2, 3, 4 jobs, all these different quote unquote credit cards and other things to try to pay or maintain their living. You know, we shouldn't have to be paid to be living. Now, if somebody runs a business, yes, they should be paying those things, but to have the basic necessities of food and shelter and water and these things and clothes, we shouldn't have to be paying for that. And I think folks are just, once again, they have been programmed and they don't want to let go of these things because they don't know anything else. But I can tell you, there's another side to it. It's just, can one be comfortable? I mean, can one be excited, pumped up, and ready to use their will to get out of that growth, to get out of that comfort zone of the things that they're used to? Because what the body gonna do and the mind gonna do is try to keep you and tell all these things to keep you safe. And one had to just ask themselves, like, go look in the mirror. Is me doing these things, you know, helping me grow? Is it just keeping me where I'm at so I can stay comfortable, so that I don't explore the unknown territory, or really be able to get these things that I can see and envision, but, you know, something's not adding up with my steps in action. So don't look at 7 Hill Star as the bad guys. I mean, you can, because some are going to be the bad guys, some are going to be good. We don't care. We're going to do what we're going to do. It's just, are y'all going to ride with us and the Prophet Noble Lee and what he brought? Like, do y'all really and truly honor that? You know, talk about unity and community building. Do y'all really honor that, or do y'all just get off, mentally masturbate, as Brother Hasan like to say, on the thoughts or the feeling of it, but not having that real action? And I yield.
Islam, indeed, bro. So let's get started. Peace and greetings and Islam to you guys interacting in the chat. Brother 7 Judah Bilal Bey says peace and love. Mother Sahar says peaceful greetings to everyone. Indeed, Mother Sahar, peaceful greetings to you. And Katrina, hey Katrina, says bring it. What we ride. No, she didn't say the what we ride. Yeah, I was just adding that part.
I thought bring it on, man.
Hold on, I did watch, like, it was like 6 people. Now then it went down to 3. Now it's up to 4. It's like, I wonder if that touched the nerve of some people. But then again, you know, who knows? People might have to, you know, answer their phone or something like that. But sometimes I just watch when we say certain things, and I'll watch the numbers and be like, because we already know if it's more than 12 people, it's a party, right?
It's like,
again, we're not showing. Yeah, no, we're not showing naked women and cat videos and speaking about, but as soon as we speak on something controversial, it seems like people all share it out like, hey, look, yo, they talking about these beings. It's like, man, it's people don't want that real. They do like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like people just want the controversy. And it's like
they want the drama,
okay.
they want the toxicity, they want, you know what I'm saying? All those things that they know ain't nothing, but that's the only thing they know. All they know is drama. They don't know peace. They don't really want peace like they say they do. They can say it, but they really don't want it. You know, what's that one song? Oh gosh, how did it go? I was like, we can give you the truth, but what you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, flat out. Guys, we are here at Moor's Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49. All right, and as we see, handsomely standing due guard in his Moor Sharif Fez and Abba is Prophet Noble Drew Ali, right? Founder pertaining to the Moor, the religious corporate activity name, right? That was adopted by Moorish Holy Temple of Science. It is the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? That's what Prophet Noble Drew Ali is founder of, right? All right, so with that being said, we're going to do our invocation in turn the Moorish American prayer. I think for the Moorish American prayer, it is I that is doing the opening because Brother Sean opened up on Friday. And guys, we're going to extend all 5 appendages on our left hand, just the index in the middle on the right. We're going to face east, standing on the 45 like Prophet Noble Drew Ali's feet there. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in your hearts. Islam. Islam, Allah the Father of the universe.
Allah the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
It was Holy Prophet.
It was Holy Prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen. All righty, Aphrodite. Let's do it. Going to the first letter to be read in every meeting is in the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, pages 84 and 85. We yield the floor to our beloved brother, in whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Alim El Islam.
Islam. All righty. So the following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini, AD, for those who are not aware of Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting.
Oh, forgive me.
I thought it was a delay.
No. You're good. You're good. Do your thing.
All right. So this is from Administrative Functions, Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603, Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. And brother Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials in the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, right? American citizen, not United citizen, not Indian, or, whatever else they switch up today, maybe something else tomorrow. They are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance, pardon me, as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility, quote unquote. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work, in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish Divine National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause, Noble Drew Ali.
All righty, now we're going to the Moorish literature. All righty, pages 12 and 13. And on page 12, again, handsomely standing in Dugard and his Moorish Sharif Fez, his prophet Noble Drew Ali. And on page 13, we have here from the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, of course. Divine warning by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets and the internet. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. And remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, if they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button seats wearing their turban and fez and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the prophet, their prophet, and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And here we're going to the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, adopting as its corporate name, Moorish Science Temple of America. Chapter 31, Holy Instructions from the Prophet Justice, right? And in usual style, as we do this, right? As we do this, Brother Sean is going to read the minutes or the verses, right? From degree or chapter 31, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, and I'll do my ad-libbing as I do. All righty. So with that being said, I yield the floor to Brother Sean Islam.
Come on, bro, you ain't do it. Ha ha! Serious, member.
Ha ha!
I'm serious, member.
Laughing, yo. I'm serious, member. Okay, that's what we want to do, right? All right. You're hilarious, yo. I thought about it. I was like, let's just get right to it. Like, no, it's all good, man.
Yeah, bro. It's like the Braveheart, bro. We can't skip it. It just don't feel right.
You can't skip it.
It just don't feel right.
Yeah. Let me stop, yo.
Justice. All right. All right, so minute 1, verse 1. All right, so the peace of society dependeth on justice, the happiness of individuals on the safe enjoyment of all their possessions.
Look at that. So when you got beings out here supposed to be grand sheiks but don't know law or telling you to go get a lawyer, that means they are in violation of Act 1. Pertaining to the divine constitution and bylaws. And then when we say this stuff, they're gonna be like, oh, well, those Moors, they're not making their meetings. They're not in this building that's the temple, and they're not making their meetings inside of this building. We've made more meetings in 3 years than most of these beings have made in their lifetime. Because we know that we're not just meeting in some so-called building, some brick and mortar building. Sometimes a meeting just happens impromptu in a phone conversation. You got to minister to your brothers and mothers. And you can go to the Quran, or a study session of the Quran just pops out of nowhere in a phone conversation. That's usually the best ones too. Man, that's usually the best one.
Man.
You know what I mean? When we're not online. However, we be going in when we online too. We don't play around because we really do live this. That's why it flows the way it flows online. You know what I'm saying? We just realize it's just a lot of people out there who haven't been, they're not successful in their t-shirt businesses, or they haven't been successful in any other business. They are subpar musicians or songwriters, or they really can't perform their raps in a way that everybody likes. So what actually happens is, what they'll do is they'll take on a character that's unjust. And what they're doing is they're feeding on the people not wanting to be on their bad side. So then people promote them out of one, fear, and also the other half is pity for them in some way, shape, or form. But eventually the people are going to get to the point where they're just going to stop supporting people. You gotta stop lying to yourself. You can't be like, well, I don't want that sister or that brother, getting mad at me, or saying stuff about me online. So I'm just going, get their books that they didn't really write. They just did some copy and pasting and then said it's their book. So anyway, just want to put that out there. So with that being said, I yield the floor, bro. I definitely yield the floor. Islam.
All right. 2, keep the desires of thy heart, therefore, within the bounds of moderation. Let the hand of justice lead them aright.
Let the hand, that's like Mercury in Libra. Hand pertaining to justice, hand, Mercury, justice, Libra, or that's like Venus in Gemini, but hand, Mercury in justice, Libra. That's kind of like what I see there, right? And, so if there's a desire pertaining to your heart that you enjoy, who knows? Let's say you like grape juice. Don't be a glutton for grape juice. Take your sip your grape juice in moderation. All right. Just putting that out there. All right, bro. I yield the floor. Islam.
All right. It's like a mutual reception with Venus and Gemini, Mercury and Libra. It's definitely a mutual reception right there. Yeah. All right, 3, cast not an evil eye on the goods of thy neighbor. Let whatever is his property be sacred from thy touch.
So that's right there. That should be to all the beings that try to or want to enforce evictions that are not done by due process, as it is in Title 42, United States Code 1437 DK. Also, when people like these attorneys, these lawyers, woe unto you lawyers, what they do is they want to use their bar membership to try to take property from people via the court, since they're officers of the court or whatever, and then try to make it sound like it's either city, county, state, or federal property. So boom, there you go for number 3. You know what I'm saying? So what would be funny if we, bro, this makes me want to kind of look up judges in the Bible. Wow, that's what just came to my mind. Like if we looked at judges in the Bible, like the chapter that's called Judges, while looking at justice, I'm pretty sure we'll find parallels that just that alone, you could probably spank these people, man. Like seriously, because that's how you're supposed to use your Bible. Just like when we, saw that video, despite the fact that certain people, certain videos we observe, they do certain practices that we don't agree with. However, they could have certain things like, read, what was it? 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 8 through 16. Was that what it was? Was it 1 Timothy 1?
Hold up.
Right.
Yeah, 1
So First
Timothy
Timothy,
1. I
yeah,
think in
verses 8 through 16.
let's see. Yeah, 8
Yeah, it
through
was verses.
16. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we can see how to even use that. You know what I mean? So that just came to my mind, like to maybe take a gander at justice. However, I yield, bro. Islam.
Yeah, stop stealing. Goes to loyalty lawyers and those who
Basically.
take from others. Like, let what somebody else's is be theirs, right? But moving on to 4, let no temptation allure thee, nor any provocation excite thee to lift up thy hand to the hazard of his life.
So yeah, so these policy enforcers that want to put their hands on beings and all these other different things. And that's why, you know, being in our higher self is important also, because even though some people deserve to have the life and breath choked out of them, you know, just ignore them, you know, move right along for real. They'll go through their own pain and suffering. The universe will bring about their demise in diverse ways. I yield.
All right, 5, defame him not in his character, bear no false witness against him.
Look at that. Bear no false witness. There are so many people, and it's funny because even the Helios Bibliotext says that too. The quote unquote Holy Bible. Defame him not in his character. Don't sit here and talk about people and say that they're some type of character that they're absolutely not. Which goes to show you got people out here who a lot of people are saying that's their grand sheik, and they are in violation of chapter 31, verse 5, right here in the Holy Koran. They're trying to defame people's character and they're bearing false witness, which ultimately leads to an Act 3 violation. Because that's what that is. And that's your grand sheik. Y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Y'all really need to study this stuff for yourselves and then make the right decisions. Stop just trying to be cool with people because you see that they still have shortcomings. So you're being cool with people because you have shortcomings yourself. Because remember, when it comes time to harvest, we bundle up the wheat and the tares. And the tares are the things that grew around the wheat that aren't wheat, that's going to get burnt up. We'll put the wheat in the storehouse, and all the tares that are trying to choke the roots of the wheat, you're going to get burned. So you can sit there and bundle with the tares if you want. TARES. I yield.
6, corrupt not a servant to cheat or forsake him, and the wife of his bosom, tempt not to sin.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Corrupt not his servant to cheat or forsake him. So in other words, if there are beings that, for example, look out for 7 Hill Star, they give donations and things of that nature, but now you're like, hey, look, this is what you got to do. Take what they give you in a Prophet Noble Dryly University, and you know what I mean, make your own little package. You ain't got to say it came from 7 Hill Star. Look at that, right? And then, you know what I mean, and the wife pertaining, you know, the consort, you know, pertaining to that man. You know, don't try to howl at her. Don't be an idiot.
Don't be letting that music. Oh yeah, I'm actually pardon my French, or someone say my language. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go fuck on his wife. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go get her. I'm gonna get her husband. No, stop it.
Or jump in their DMs on Instagram, or try to follow them and send a bunch of other brothers to follow a sister, or send a bunch of sisters to follow a brother. Like that's another way it's done in these days and times. because people actually care about social media like that. Social media for me is nothing but industrial endeavors. That's it. That's all. Period. I yield.
You know, I like to call it fake it till you make it land.
For them.
For them, yeah, not for us. We are
Yeah.
still being the same on this camera, off the camera. But you don't get more gems off the camera. Like, you know, we don't speak everything online, but you know, we ain't switching up none. They like, man, I done watched them brothers online. I done actually had to, you know, got to meet them in persona. Some would say in person. They still them same brothers, man. They solid, man. I thought they was gonna be something else. Darn right, being ourselves. All right, but moving on. 7, it will be a grief to his heart, which thou canst not relieve, an injury to his life, which no reparation can atone.
And what that's talking about is the things that came before number 7, right? The beings out here that are right there. Beings that are doing 3, coveting what thy neighbor has. Beings that are doing number 4, that are trying to be violent against beings that actually done nothing to them. Not in word, not in thought, deed, not in thought, word, deed, or action. And number 5, defaming the character, corrupting, you know what I mean, the servants of one, or trying to tempt his wife. You're trying to bring grief to someone. Now, it may be dependent on, because I'm trying to tell you, some beings, they take that as, okay, this cat want me to help him, you know, choose out what size coffin he should be fitted for. Like that's how some people take it. So yes, you don't want to grieve the heart, you know, because remember, man meets Allah in the heart. So if you're grieving, if you're trying to bring grief to someone's heart, then you want to bring grief to Allah. You want to bring grief to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac? That's just as bad as being pale, but calling yourself white, and then being copper toned, but calling yourself black. That's like being a woman that likes to have sex with women, or think you're having sex with women, right? Or a man that, you know, thinks he's having sex with a man. You're against nature. You're warring against nature to try to bring grief to someone's heart. That's warring against nature. Period. I don't care how you slice it, Holmes. That's what it is. And when you're doing that, it can't be relieved. You're not going to be able to relieve that. You're trying, and that's an injury. That's an injury. So that means you just committed a crime. You just committed a crime. It's an injury to that being's life that you're doing these things to, which no repair condition, that's what a reparation is, repair condition, can bring it back to 1 again. That's what atone is, at 1. For those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, let them. I yield, bro.
All right, 8, and thy dealings with man and thy dealings with mind, be impartial and just, and do unto them as thou wouldest they should do unto thee.
Man, that's the golden rule.
Man.
Don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. That's really what it is.
And do unto others as you want done unto you. When you look at 6, it's like,
basically,
what? Right? Think about how many folks would be so quick to go DM somebody else's woman, somebody else's man, consort, son, master, consort, will be the first ones to fight if somebody wrote their own. Like, just think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Think about somebody else. How would somebody else feel if somebody came and took your property, evicted you out of your home or cut your stuff off? How would you feel about that? I'm pretty sure about, 1000% that a lot of these beings that do these things to others will be the first one to cry or get mad if somebody did it to them. So once again, the golden rule, do unto others as you would want done unto you. All right, moving on. 9, be faithful to thy trust, and deceive not the mind, who relieth upon thee. Be assured, it is less evil in the sight of Allah to steal than to betray.
And still don't steal. You know what I'm saying?
Right, just because I said it's less evil.
That was verse 3. Don't steal. You know what I mean? However, it's worse to betray than to steal. So somebody's relying on 7 Hill Star to do what they say they're going to do. As far as an astrology workshop, oh man, I spent $250 to be a member of part of a, astrological society where we want to talk about this and that. Not only did we come through, but we're also additively saying we're also doing extra, more than what we even promised for what we said we were going to give. There's still extras coming to those that participate. Why? Because we're going to be faithful to those that are relying upon us. Because when you betray someone that's relying on what you say, and that what you say you're going to do, you committed fraud. You guys need to Google the elements of fraud. And one of those elements is to rely upon the information pertaining to the one that you're accusing of fraud. Period. I yield.
All right, 10. Oppress not the poor, and defraud not of his hire the laboring mind. In
other words, a servant's worthy of his hire. Don't be sitting here, you know what I mean, and think like, oh man, 7 Hill Star, they tripping. They want this much, you know what I mean, for doing astrology, or talking about, they gonna be talking about healing and stuff like that. Man, you know what I mean? Are you doing that to our people, man? I thought y'all said the Federal Reserve the Federal Reserve your Cash Apps, your PayPal, your Zells, those are tools. We're going to use the tools appropriately. We're going to use the screwdriver to screw in screws and the hammer to hammer in nails, instead of stabbing people in their stomach with the screwdriver and bashing their heads in with the hammer. That's the wrong way to use that tool called finances, which finance etymologically is a means to an end. I yield.
Right, or a 7 Hill Star building a house or building a community, and those same beings coming behind and I'm gonna unscrew that you just screwed. Oh, I'm gonna pull that nail out that you just nailed in. Same way. All right, so 11, when thou selleth for gain, hear the whispering of conscience, and be satisfied with moderation, nor from the ignorance of thy buyer take any advantage. Ooh.
So don't be trying to, so you see why 7 Hill Star doesn't sell packages? Because we already know our conscience is like, that ain't right if you did that. You know what I'm saying? You're going to sell something. Okay, make sure not only is it worth what it is you're doing, show people the difference. Because sometimes I ain't gonna front. Sometimes I'd be like, man, if people only knew what other beings do that we do and what it costs to get it. And then, it's some people out here that's going to be like, well, I'm going to still go and try to find, the Albion that's doing it instead of going to these Moors. Why? Because my self-hate is so deep that I need to go find. But what you're going to realize is that technically the Albion sons and daughters is your reflection too, because they're your sons and daughters. Mm-hmm. Their consciousness is pinned down at 33 degrees, but why do you see them thriving more than you? Mm. And you are born a master 720 degrees at least, and don't even recognize it. You know why you don't recognize it? Because you hate yourself. So anyway, I yield, bro.
All right, 12. Pay the debts which thou owest, for he who gave thee credit relieth upon thine honor, and to withhold from him his due is both mean and unjust.
Looky, Astro Cookie. However, I'm the type, I ain't gonna let you borrow anything. Either I'm gonna give it to you or I'm not. Period. I remember when I was doing my little, street activity at one portion, long time ago in my life. And I used to front people, product. Man, how people they can mess up a wet dream. I was on some, give me 40, you take 60. That's how generous I was because I had so much. What? That wasn't being crazy. That wasn't being stupid. I'm like, yo, we can build it, but some beings just don't have that kind of discipline. So it is what it is. That's why I don't mind doing what I'm doing now. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna give something, I'm gonna give it to you. Because I ain't got time to be like, I'm just gonna charge that to the game. You know what I mean? I might as well just have a mindset. Let me give this or break me off with my coin now, and then I'm gonna give you what I'm offering. So if you get it for free, or you get it after you exchange that coin. I ain't got time for you trying to whisper sweet nothings in my ear. You know what I mean? Especially like, when because I make music. And yo, your beats is hard. Look, man, this is what I want you to do. See, let's put an album together and then you'll get your bread on the back end when we make some sales. Yeah, that's a no for me. I want my bread up front, period. Give me my tools up front. Those are the tools that will motivate me to get the job done, as well as make sure I have certain nourishment until I can use said tools to further, make it so that more and more beings will be confident in enforcing the law by making sure we're forcing the Department of Agriculture to make sure, hey, look, to prevent someone trying to say that we're doing shoplifting, even though shoplifting or larceny can only be done by a federal, state, or municipal agent, not just the common people. But since somebody's going to be an agent to try to make someone get locked up for taking something while out of the store, which is even what it says in Title VII of the United States Code. But they didn't go to that instrumentality called the cash register. So now we need to say they're shoplifting, stop them, this and that. Now we got to ruin their life. Okay, so one stopgap measure to that is to get a purchase card from the Department of Agriculture. And it's not so that Department of Agriculture can do something for you. No, this is just like, since these idiots need to see somebody at the register, we're not going to do it with our energy. We're going to do it with the energy of them for their imaginary commerce world that really has nothing to do with the common people. That commerce world, those cash registers are only for federal, state, and municipal agents. Really, Federal Reserve agents who are basically making advances to the Federal Reserve Bank through the instrumentalities of the US, of the US, the U.S. Right? And those instrumentalities are cash registers. I yield.
All right, that's what 12 USC 412, ain't it?
Yep. Absolutely is 411, 12 USC 411. And to apply for Federal Reserve notes is for a 12 USC 412s, because a lot of people out here don't go punch a clock for Federal Reserve notes. They They just turn in applications as collateral and get Federal Reserve notes. I yield.
Indeed. Let's see. 13. Finally, O son of society, examine thy heart, call remembrance to thy aid, and if in any of these things thou have transgressed, make a speedy reparation to the utmost of thy power.
O son of society, examine your heart. Call remembrance to your aid. And if in any of these things, before this 13th verse, before this 13th minute, you have transgressed, you need to make a speedy you need to not wait, you need to hurry up, like, oh, dad, yo, you know what, I think I did this. Yo, I need to make sure that I didn't offend you when I did this. And I know, I ain't gonna front, I know I'm like that naturally before even reading this in the Quran. I was just always been like that. That don't make me better than anybody. I'm just saying how, you know what I mean, my mind is built. Because I already feel that I feel a certain way already. You know what I mean? I can tell. I'm not stupid. I don't ignore my conscience when it whispers. You see what I'm saying? Where was that at? Where was that at? Where did it say about the conscience? Right there. When thou selleth for gain, hear the whispering of conscience. I never ignored that. I've never been somebody who's like, I'm ignore that and just get it. I just gotta get it in life and do what I gotta do. Never, ever. That's just not my character. Again, it doesn't make me better than anybody. I'm just saying who I am. Make a speedy reparation to the utmost of your power. The utmost. So at the end of the day, I just rather be honest. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna say it in an intelligent tone. You know what I mean? And this is if I'm really interacting with someone face to face and saying what it is. You know, even Brother Sean knows, because he's witnessed when I had to, you know, speak to anyone and things get a little out of control. I can match your energy, at least match it, if not top it. However, the more and more I be what I know, when people try to get all super angry and loud and stuff, it's kind of cute. It's like, oh, look at you. Oh, you're upset. Oh, oh, you're upset. Oh, but it is what it is. So it's kind of funny. Mother Sahar says, indeed. And she also says, instead of making reparations, they'll make a derogatory video. Yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? That's why I speak to, even when I'm speaking on things that are out there, I just speak to that spirit that is the opposite of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I don't know why people just can't see. But again, people will sit there and it's funny because I don't consume the negativity. It's just funny how the universe will show me different clues and other things. I can look in the astrology. I can tell by, say, you know, through people's DMs. If I'm, you know, DM somebody, hey, X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C, and they'll be like, you know, hey man, no matter what, you know, some other Moor say about you, I'm cool with you. And it's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but thanks for letting me know. Like, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, just moving on. But, you know, especially if anyone's saying anything derogatory about you, this is one thing that's really strong for me. Your haters believe in you much more than your supporters. And that's not knocking the supporters. It's just that it takes a lot of faith to not like someone and to still make a video about them. That's obsession. And if it's a guy that's making derogatory videos about another guy, that guy is probably a closet homosexual. You would have to question someone's manhood there. And you would have to recognize that they don't think they can be something in life without being derogatory. That's why I'd be like, it's funny. Oh, look, they're so upset. Oh, look at him. He's so upset. Oh. Somebody change his diaper. That's how I see it. All right. Mother's Heart says 100. All right. So with that being said, any questions, comments, and or suggestions? Going once. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going twice. I know what I do want to say. We know that if you missed the Quick Thinking Moon and Mercury astrology workshop, what I'm gonna do is how I have it up on the website now, as I think it's up there as a service. I'm going to remove it. Oh no, I think it's up there as a product. I'm going to remove it and add it as a service. I'm going to put it up there as a service for you guys to be able to join TUPAC, and you'll be able to, transact for it for TUPAC, and you'll get access to the recordings when you do. It is 2 videos total. Like I said, it's about 9 hours between the 2 days that we did it. It's about 9 hours. I don't know anybody. I mean, how many of you guys, do 8 hours worth of work? Let's just say 8 hours worth of work for, think here, 8 hours worth of work, and all you received in 8 hours was maybe 100 to 120 units. That's like working for like what, 12 an hour almost? 12.50 an hour? Like that's nothing. People at McDonald's are getting 15. What are we talking about here? Like, are you serious? Like, really? Like, come on, man. Come on, guys. Anyway, with that being said, man, these things are beautiful, man. And I trust there's going to come a time where what the people do is stop supporting those that are making derogatory videos, subpar music. You know what I mean? Stop supporting those people, right? And recognize the only reason you're supporting them, if you are consuming their material, you just feel like you just can't get enough of it because it's just so provocative. You need to question yourself. You need to question your mind and your heart. You really do. You know what I'm saying? And realize that you're being fed upon by a vampire. Some of the most craftiest vampires are the ones that act like they're not. Right? I'm a different kind of vampire. I'm the one with the yellow eyes, if you want to say it like that, because to me, everybody consumes energy. It's just how you go about consuming that energy. You know what I'm saying? I vamp plants, right? I'm a plant-based vampire. Right? Just to put it in a light sense of the word. Because I know, a lot of times what we do is we put all this energy as far as connotation on words. Again, forget the words. The main thing that this chapter is speaking about and being just, the moral of the story is use ye will appropriately. Do not, misuse ye will not. Use ye will appropriately. Misuse ye will not. So use your will appropriately. Misuse your will not. That's all this is. That, to me, is the half that has not been told. However, Prophet Noble Drew Ali divinely prepared for that to be told, and every literature he prepared. Aleister Crowley said it this way: do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. So your lower self should be love, upholding the will that is the higher self. So love should be upholding will. Why misuse your will? By having hate uphold it. I know, man. None of your grandchildren. And I'm just Brother Hasan. I'm just Brother Hasan. I'm no special title guy. Just Brother Hasan. But a lot of your grandcheeks are not going to say what we're saying here until they secretly watch our videos and then present as if they got it themselves. They're welcome. And again, that's not an arrogant statement. That's just the first two principles in action. Love, and inherently following love is truth. Have peace. Feel free. That's justice, which is what we just read. Look at that. Look how that works. Questions, comments, and or suggestions. Going. I just read what Mother Sahar said. She said below minimum wage. What we do is below minimum wage, guys. What? I know, because sometimes people are like, 250, 8 hours. How do I know it's going to be 8 hours? It wasn't 8 hours. It was almost 10. It was 9. It was like 6 minutes and some change short of 10 hours. All right. And I'm pretty sure I and Brother Sean may have reached minimum wage.
Man.
Yo, that's why I laugh at this, bro. It's like, yo, these people, I don't know if people can really comprehend what it is that, like, what we offer is worth 3 times what we're asking for. And it's not that we don't know our worth. We're considering that 9 times out of 10, only Albion sons. If we were just just advertise to Albion sons and daughters, I think we would be really cool. We would be good. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We would be good. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? You have Albions that are using, think of it, you Moors, conscious and unconscious, who are made manifest. 720, you come out the womb being masters. And ye sons and daughters whose consciousness is pinned down at 33 degrees, why are they doing so much better with your stuff? Why? Why are they doing better? Why are they more persistent and consistent with your astrology? It's your Moorish zodiac constitution. Why are they working it? Running your neighborhoods. And it's got you talking about, well, the oppressor, are they really being the oppressor is you, because you're not using your stuff that you got from your ancient foremothers and forefathers, but your sons and daughters are using it, and you're mad. When all you got to do is pick it up and support the community that's before you. Right in front of your face. It's not hard to support us, man. You got to recognize, right? All right. So, Brother Sean. What you got, bro?
Man, what needed to be said, it was said. Just support us and share us. Because in the long run, you'll be more cooler sharing those who are uplifting follow humanity than not sharing, trying to appeal to those who aren't really going nowhere, who are just breeding hate. You'll be much cooler and go down in history for and support your old Moorish movement. Supporting those who are, doing good work, those who are, working hard day and night. Yeah, we don't, punch a job for nobody, but we're still working, and that's still, and it will be respected, regardless of, anybody out there that's trying to judge or say something. Because once again, take me, for example, I was jobbing and still doing this for a while. So I didn't make no excuses. I was punching the clock with somebody else, then I'd get off and still be doing what I do, or I'd be, oh man, we're kind of slow. Let me screen record some videos and post those. I don't make no excuses, and that's my will. But it's because I want it, because I'm hungry for it, like regardless of whatever is put before me. Any so-called obstacle, my own mind, any of that. Like I wanted it, so I willed it. So I continue to do it. And now that I don't job, I'm still doing what I do day in, day out, day and night. And we're doing this because we know the state of our people, we know the state of the world, and we know where things need to get to because we meet Prophet Noble Drew in his literature. We meet C.M. Bey in his literature. We honor our ancestors. We read, what's called history. We're connecting ourselves back to the mindsets of our ancient foremothers and forefathers. We're doing that. We're not, man, my ear keep ringing in and out. We're not really, just saying things to be saying and hoping somebody else is going to save us. Because at the end of the day, we can only save ourselves, and we can only work with others with the same mindset, the same, same mindset, mentality, drive, those who are willing their will, and those who love themselves, and those who are actually open to healing themselves and working on themselves. Being accountable, being real Saturnian, right? Being real Saturn, because there's no way out. Even if one would try to take their own way out, there's no way out. So we do this work because we love it, we're passionate about it, and we see what needs to be done. Just like how folks support all these rappers, singers, TV shows, and everything else, put that same support behind Seven Hill Star. Like your favorite TV shows that you'll tell everyone about, do the same thing with Seven Hill Star. Share that. It won't hurt you. Share it. And if one doesn't finance, we told y'all before, we'll say it again. Bring us readings, bring us sessions, and one will be able to get their free own. Don't try to gatekeep or just, bat an eye away, because what we do, or we speak that truth that makes one uncomfortable. Because us making ye uncomfortable is the only way that ye can really see the things and be, motivated enough. If we get you pissed off enough, maybe y'all would want to do something. But we shouldn't have to do that. It should be all about principles, right? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And, loving ourselves and loving our people, and really just loving everyone at the end of the day, to rid of this evil, spirit. I don't want to say evil, but of the spirit that's lingering over everyone in this land. Why you think there's so many earthquakes and storms and all these other things? Because there is just a spirit that is hanging, and folks, want to ignore it like the elephant in the room. But, how long can one really go trying to ignore the elephant in the room? And so at the end of the day, one has to just really look in that mirror, and ask those hard questions. Don't try to project it on us, because you're not going to hurt yourself at the end of the day with those projections. We are, divinely protected and guided. And we are doing what's right. So get behind us. Whether it's, financially, sharing us, that's all we really ask. We say get your sessions, but if one can't do that just yet, share us. I don't think it's really that hard, or we're asking for much. It's to hit the share button. I think that's really simple and fair. With that. So, shout out to everybody that, It's a part of Tupac. Shout out to those that will become a part of that in the future, as we really build this society. Like, because you have to ask yourself, who else, are calling themselves Moors and not doing it to sell packages and bringing the astrology and the civics and the history and all these other things to uplift fallen humanity. Like, ask yourself, who else is really doing that without trying to sell a package or be cool or trying to guilt trip you or, any of these other things. Who's really being sincere?
I mean, 22 Melissa R says, as you stated on the previous Holy Venus degree, the younger ones are pushing the elders to the back. She put move, get out the way. But I'm like, move, bitch, get out the way.
Move,
so you stop.
elder, get out the way. Get out the way, elder, get out the way.
Yeah. And elder is not just someone who's a certain age. Elder is someone who is stagnating the movement because they've allowed themselves to calcify in the movement. So that's a kind way of saying that you got old. You know what I mean? Because an honorable elder, you don't have to tell, get out the way. An honorable elder will know that, okay, I finished this portion of the leg of the, exercise. Boom, here's that baton. There you go. All right.
All right, so, and I'll say this last thing. I'll say this last thing. It's laugh and a joke and it's funny to look at, but just think about how something comes up as this Montgomery brawl happens, and how everybody's talking about it and sharing it. But when it comes to the positivity, it's crickets. And that's the things that we be talking about is, the energy and the focus is on the wrong things. Yeah, it's cool, it's funny, and people will get hyped up. But I'm pretty sure it's going to die down and things are going to go right back to where they was. So.
It's funny you brought that up. I casted a chart on that. I sent the bros a chart, right?
Yeah, right? I remember that.
Yeah. And I casted a chart on that moment, bro, when they said that it happened, because I was like, And I was like, what was that energy? You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to see what that energy of that moment was in time. And it's telling. The astrology really tells a story about that moment in time. But that's obviously, I also intuit that that's a parallel to something that in the past, it was the exact opposite. It was some Moors that were mistreating the Albion sons and daughters, and it was reversed. So the reversal of that is happening, which is one of the clues that no matter what it looks like, it'll end up in the hands of the Asiatics. So, this is how you see when things, are really going back to where they're supposed to be. What we have to do is be consistent in respecting the astrology, which is always going to unveil what it is that we're witnessing and what it is that we're seeing. So we're going to do our invocation out. And it's so hilarious because when we're doing these presentations, I always have an astro clock running, on another device. And as I'm looking, I know probably by the time we finish the invocation out, the ascendant will be at 29 degrees Aries from the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. Man, and I tell you, the astrology is telling. It's a man. Every time, prophet of any water degree, 29 degrees. Brother Sean is going to lead us out, right? With the invocation out, turn to your Moor American prayer. We're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index in the middle on the right, and we're going to hold them like this while we face directional east. For me, east is the back of me, right? And having our feet on a 45-degree angle as we repeat after Brother Sean, either aloud or in our hearts. Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe,
Father of love,
Father of love,
truth,
truth,
peace,
peace,
freedom,
freedom,
and justice.
and justice.
Allah is my protector,
Allah is my protector,
my guide,
my guide,
and my salvation.
and my salvation.
By night
By night
and by day.
and by day.
It was Holy Prophet,
It was Holy Prophet,
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali. Guys, rest and recharge well. I know I got some work to do, so I know, right? We was joking earlier, like we got to double today. We did that work, finished the second part of the workshop. Now we're complete with this. I got other works to do, guys, and
right with you,
it's funny as we're closing out. Huh?
I said I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I still got to send out those other reports, those extras that we said we were going to do for the people, and I'm going to make sure that the video, audio, and chat file from today gets downloaded and then uploaded to that Google Drive, and then make sure it gets out to everyone. However, make sure everyone gets that Zoom link. And 29 degrees is there. So we're going to end this here on the ascendant being at 29 degrees, Aries, which is prophet of a new order degree from the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. I and Brother Sean say rest and recharge well. Mother Sahar says, so true. Gratitude indeed, Brother Hasan and Brother Sean. Peace and love to all. And Brother 7, Judah Bilal Bey says, Islam to you all, beloved mother, beloved brother, and everyone else that has joined us. This is where I and our beloved brother in whom we're well pleased, Brother Sean Mel, say namaste to you all. Namaste, namaste. Islam, y'all. Peace out.